in a truck, you're like wearing a truck.
Yeah. Quite literally.
All right, we're live.
We're live? All right. All right, so we're in the Toyota Tread Pass with good friend Shawn Basset. You've seen him before. Last year we had 2 feature vehicles from you. This year, is this the only thing you've brought to SEMA?
We brought our Z.
Oh, that's right. I did see that in there.
But yes.
Only
this
new
is
thing.
the new one.
Yeah, that's right. What I know about this is it's a fully time-attackable Kei Truck. That's pretty much where my knowledge ends. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, this makes total sense to take a Kei Truck and turn it into a hill climb time attack.
Yeah.
Because they are, people don't know, but they're very aerodynamic to begin with.
You can really weaponize that 40 horsepower.
Yeah, it's like a wall in the front. But no, I'm serious. It was just something fun to do. You know, we just had this truck kind of laying around, and we got it like really cheap, and it was, you know.
It was in the shop tour when we
saw it. Yeah. But at one point, this truck had like a bunch of actual hand acrylic painting all over it. It said like Art Cart on it, and I just got it cheap off of Marketplace, and you know, kind of want to do something fun with it, but just keep it a shop truck. But then we're kind of like, my Z's next to it too much, and I was like, well, what if we did that? And then, you know, we thought it'd be kind of fun to just do what we would, exactly what we, you know, the rules that we do on a regular race car, we do on this thing, and it's kind of ridiculous.
So is there like wind tunnel testing involved in the aero?
No.
Okay.
No, but it's all the same practices that we do have a lot of experience with on the Z and other cars, and you know, we basically tried to not do things for style points, but do it like how we would build a race car. And we always feel like those end up being rad style points.
Yeah, that's stylish enough.
It's not fake. All the aero on it, even though it's, you know, not capable of 200 miles an hour, it's like how we would design a car that would run, you know, 180 miles an hour on the backstretch Dakota, right? We would take those same types of things and, you know, do it the same way.
So underneath, it's still like full Kei Truck as it came to the chassis, or is there some magic going on underneath?
So I deliberately tried not to chop up the chassis because that gets me in classes that are gnarly.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Right, so I'm trying. The aero is going to class itself up, but I deliberately kept the, you know, shock towers in place and a lot of the stuff, the, you know, firewall in place. That way we could not, you know, maybe we want to go to a World Time Attack Challenge one day. And, you know, with the Z, it's difficult because it's a tube chassis.
Right.
This, we still have some things that make it a truck. Yeah, like it's got a, you know, the factory front subframe is probably shortened by about 4 inches because we still want to, we don't want to slam it. We still want flat geometry on the arms.
Right.
So it's not for decoration. I mean, this thing has Moton coilovers on it. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's got all the stuff that we would do on a regular race car.
The track width is out. Is that a matter of longer axles, or are these just much bigger wheels?
There's no spacers. There's no like trickery on the suspension to stretch things out. It's just, you know, really good work wheel fitment on it, you know, and yeah, this is just custom wheels, you know, anyone can order, but you know, these are the ones we spec'd out for the truck, and you know, we got extended studs on it and titanium lug nuts and a bunch of craziness.
They were saying before we started rolling, a little bit shocked at the amount of Kei Trucks I'm seeing this year. So I'm kind of thinking of throwing together like the best Kei Trucks of SEMA. I'd say you're a shoo-in at this point. Would you say you've set the bar for Kei Trucks at this point?
I would say we like to flex our skills a little bit. And, you know, I did feel like the Kei Trucks have been really, really popular. We had one and we kind of wanted to set our own bar, and our bar's high.
Right.
And if people want to come hang out with us on our level, that's cool too.
So can you touch on the future plans with this thing? Because you said it's complete in the sense that it's working and everything's together, but there's way more to come for this.
Yeah, so at SEMA, we've always generally, at least version 1 of a completed race car, but we deliberately kept the stock engine in this. Everything else is touched. But we kept the stock engine, that way the little truck's got a story post SEMA. So we're gonna do a turbo Hayabusa swap in it. That'll be the beans. And then, yeah, so we wanted to be able to bring people on that story. You know, with the Tread Pass, these cars have to kind of almost appear out of nowhere.
Truly.
So we wanted to make sure that an engine that would have been hidden, we can talk about that post SEMA, and bring people along on that journey.
Really cool. So is there anything we haven't really touched on? I see is this a function? This makes it a roll cage, does it not? The truck
Yeah,
support?
so, we've got a roll cage on the outside. We want to keep it safe. We're gonna bring it into the truck at some point,
Okay.
but, I like to think about that stuff. I want to make sure it's deliberate, and, obviously it's really tight in there, so we want to make sure we're kind of like, we're done. This is where the cage is gonna go.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I want to make sure, we can kind of get some comfort stuff sorted out. And you can imagine doing door bars in a truck where,
At least you don't have to use a lot of material.
yeah, how do you do door bars? So,
Oh, wow,
yeah.
Okay.
So I got to figure some of that kind of stuff out. And we're in uncharted territory. So, yeah, there's a life after SEMA for this thing, and it's not at car shows. It's going to be at Grid Life. It's going to be at Global Time Attack, and
You gonna Pikes Peak this thing?
I
Set a
mean,
Kei Truck record
so
on-
when we built it, I was thinking, what if? And so I made sure that if we did want to go, we potentially would have something competitive, you know what
Okay.
I mean? I don't know how competitive, but the truck's got a 4-link. It's not leaf spring, it's 4-link suspension, and it's surprising that the front suspension is very S chassis like. It's actually oddly S chassis type. It's just like little miniature version of it, but
that's awesome.
it's got some good bones to it. I think we can do something pretty rad with it. One of the things that we want to do with this truck is we own this truck, so we wanted to really put our partners on display, and so CSF, they make some of the best radiators and they're always hidden. So
that's a good, nice
so our
touch.
radiator is mounted in the bed because the radiator is typically mounted like you're sitting on it.
Right.
There's no air going to it, but it's just that's where they put it. So we want to put it in the bed, but how do you make it actually work? So we have these
I like
ducts.
that.
The air comes in and then goes through the coolers. So we've got our oil cooler on this side, a radiator on that side. Hell Performance USA. We've got all of our bits there for remote oil filter and
The ATC Racing Hell Performance Special.
right. Yep. And then we got our radium fuel cell on display.
Very cool.
Motons.
The sponsors must love this.
Yeah.
They're so on display.
This is a demo vehicle for us. So we want, we only build things with one seat, right? Because they're made to go smash records or do all the time attack stuff.
Right.
But we want to be able. People ask us all the time, oh, can I go for a ride in the Z? And I joke that if we had another seat, we would. But we made it to have another seat. That way we could, Grid Life, be able to take people on demo rides or
Love that.
something that way they can have a part of it, and it's not just something that they can just look at. So
Right. I got some bad news if you're waiting for your ride along and you're 6'4" like I am. It's not gonna
yeah,
work, man.
you will have to cut your legs off. Yeah, so we got
Come on back.
this is the same aero package that we would put on everything else. So it's our APR GT 1000 wing. This is our in-house diffuser. This is a really good example.
So sick.
Right, this is a really good example. We have a modular diffuser molds, and we can essentially create a rear diffuser to fit any vehicle. And I think this is a great example of that.
Oh, so the R32 Time Attack build that you were using, same modular system to
Yep.
build its diffuser?
Yep, same as we have on the
Okay.
Z. So we're able to create,
Cool.
diffusers that, essentially fit anything. And I think this is just a good example of being able to do that.
You have the perfect license plate.
Right?
Can't believe that's not taken.
Right. It's actually an educational piece. A lot of people call these Kei Trucks.
I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah, so I just say read the tag and
Oh,
say it
that's
how
good.
Little John would
That's
say
good.
it. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, we're on slicks. We're on a 225,
I
45.
noticed that when I got back here.
Yeah, we do have a Vibrant. This is a full Vibrant exhaust, but this is my version of a JDM exhaust.
Okay, yeah.
And
see
I
that.
flared the tip a little bit, and I don't know. This was just something to have fun with. It's, there's real low expectations of lap times, but I think this is definitely a
High fun
smile for
expectations,
miles,
though. Yeah.
high fives.
Most-
That was the craziest thing I've ever done at
Most
60 miles an hour.
definitely.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I think you've knocked it out of the park. Certainly at home here in the Tread Pass, and honestly, so far one of my favorite things I've seen at SEMA.
Thanks, man.
Which is probably the lowest power vehicle that's ever made a favorite of mine, and that goes. That's
For
a good
now, for
testament.
now.
Yeah, exactly. Turbo Hayabusa will make this thing an
Yep.
absolute riot. Shawn, as always, I want to thank you for showing us your builds. We really appreciate what you're doing at ATC Racing. I love everything that you guys have ever come up with, and once again, knocked it out of the park.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.